Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of The Main Save. I'm here with Paris 13 Atletico as we look to eventually become better than PSG. And in today's episode, we have the pre-season shenanigans, all the season 3 preparation, and how we're going to get this club at a stage where we may be good enough to stay in League 2 football. If you missed out last episode, you do see the results on screen to your left-hand side. You also would have found out that we also have got money even to spend, even though we have no money in the club. And lastly, we have turned professional because we got promoted. There is a reason, though, we're back on the 18th of May, and it isn't too far from when we were last here YouTube. This is the reason why. The board have announced plans to build a new stadium and are in the process of searching for suitable sites and possible investors. The main reason behind the decision was the chairperson, Pereira, really wanted to relocate to the club back to their home city of Paris. The board have, however, pointed out this will not be a smooth process, and it will be some time before any plans can be finished and put into action. Definitely going to take some time. Definitely something to be excited by, because this is definitely a step in the right direction to eventually becoming bigger than Paris. Now, we do play at a pretty small stadium. If you have a look, we started in season 1, we ground shared with Paris FC. In season 2, if you have a look at our stadium, we're the only team that plays alongside with this team here that was paying us some rent to help us as well. And then lastly, if you look at our facilities, it's horrid. We haven't even started, and they're searching for a capacity of a 6,700, seater stadium. I'd rather even move to Stadia Brooks, because main reason is, main reason is that's a bigger stadium than what we've currently got, so it's probably a touch more rent, but way more, gate receipts. But this is exciting. I will say here that I've had this happen in the past in rebuilds and then thrown out the window because the finances aren't great. But, because it could take some time, as long as we get some money into the football club somehow in the next couple of years and they can find a loan, I'm happy with that to pay off some debt to get a stadium that we can at least get 6,000 fans at, and then look to improve to a 10 or 12,000 seater stadium over with expansion. And then on top of that, maybe look to build in 10, 12 seasons again and rebuild another stadium to move into. That would, when we're in the top flight and killing it, that would be nice. But part of the progression is this. We get a new stadium. It's in the pipe work. In terms of everything else, we're going to see signings. We're going to see pre-season. I'm going to definitely try and get some friendlies in against some of the bigger clubs around world football now that we're in League 2 and professional, and really try and make a crack into these finances where, if you look at expenditure, our biggest thing was this season was expenditure and staff and loan and interest repayments. And when your biggest source of income for the season is players sold and then grants, you're not doing particularly well in your turnover, are you? So, we'll be back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got some good signings and some good friendlies to talk about. Welcome back in YouTube. We have got a interesting little segment here as well. I'm going to talk about the squad. I've seen for a few days, been getting players on trials that their contracts are running out or, are out. We are approaching, obviously, that time where free agency can come into it, and definitely the market we're going to be looking at with the finances we have. But I wanted to go through the squad with you guys quickly, as well as the places that we need. I've already taken out the 3 key areas, the 4 key areas that we probably need first-team players in. Yet again, we're not going to have no European competitions in League 2 or anything like that. So, we ended up with a squad of 17. I think that's fine to try and turn over some profit. And it leads me into my next part is, if we can just focus on getting these 4 areas improved, we're still going to have a very big core of players that understand how to play our system at our level helps us in the dynamics because we've already got good team cohesion, great atmosphere, great managerial support. If we can keep all three of them high throughout pre-season and throughout, our rebuild here for League Two, we could, keep a good amount of players that understand how to play the football. And I am a big believer, especially doing rebuilds in the past with SFB, etc., keeping a good core of players that understand, whilst sprinkling in a little bit of quality, can really allow you to outperform the squad's ability. Anyone that's a leading player is going to hang around. So, Desprez is a leading player with some League 2 potential. He's going to be hanging around. Matty has played really well in the inverted wingback. Yeah, there is only a 6.88 match rating, but he did get 7 assists from this area, being from set pieces. Yeah, he might not have the physicals, but he's someone that has played really well at the level. He's 24. I think you got to give him a go next year. At a minimum, he'll be a very good backup player. Same goes for Karamoko, where, he lacks mentally and he lacks technically, and his physicals aren't particularly great. He can header. He's 6'4". He makes a good decision. He had a really good year for us last year, averaging a 7.22. Yeah, it's going to be hard to see him do that again, but that's not bad. We now get Lucas as well, who's a decent League 2 player, definitely our most important player, because I think he can play at a League 1 level, so in he goes. Masawemu, yet again, I think if we can find the right partner for him, he's going to be fantastic. Yeah, he could play ball-winning midfielder and defend, and yes, we need one, but I feel like because he's played Segundo Volante so well, I love watching him get forward. He's 6'1", he's 26. He can hit a long shot. He's physically and mentally and technically well-rounded enough for it. I feel like if I'm going to buy a ball-winning midfielder, they have to be an out-and-out destroyer. Someone that is physically a tank with a bit of height and can just sit there and do the work. And then obviously Barker's Barker. I think we need to give him a go. He scored 13 goals last year. Be interesting to see if he can cut the level. And if he can't, he can't. And then Diarra as well. There is a world where maybe we find a really good winger and move this guy up top and Barker makes way. But, he scored 12. And that's the thing. If we can just keep the squad, it's not too bad. With that being said, YouTube, if you're enjoying this little segment here for Season 3, do give it a like, do subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you guys would like to see in future, planning videos for future seasons. But I will say we've got a centre-back, a Segundo Volante, a ball-winning midfielder, and a winger on attack. And, you might be thinking, what about Ramil? He's just declined. Yes, he had a very good year, but he's not going to be good enough for League 2. But off the bench, and we're going to keep a lot of these guys, like Castro had a really good year. He's not going to be playing Segundo Volante for me, I don't think, next year in there. And he's not a ball-winning midfielder. So I feel like, it's good to have him. We'll use him off the bench. And that's the thing, keeping the core is huge, I think. And I'm very happy with that. And then lastly, of course, as well, if we can keep most of these players around with the sprinkling of players, I think we can stay up. And that's got to be the goal. Find the right players, right positions. If there's anyone that you know of that we should look at, I know that this episode is going to be out probably a week too late. Let me know in the comment section, and we'll be back with some signings, some announcement of big friendlies for money. We'll be back, and hopefully we've got some good players to tell you about. Okay, YouTube, I may or may not have found a pretty cool glitch for scouting. And that would be awesome. Now, for those wondering, my scouting is not particularly good. I think if you go to is it scouting that you can see your scouting? We have no scout package. We have no nothing. Scouting coverage. It's just France, right? We can only scout inside of France, and that is it, because we were semi-professional not too long ago. As you can see, Shane Snaeff, he's just a USA lad. For those that don't know, in the USA, all their regens basically come out as free agents. They don't like moving till they're 18 when they can turn professional. And they don't particularly like coming on trial. Now, with Shane, he looks like a decent ball-winning midfielder because he's got 14 tackling. Also think he's got good amount of stamina. He's also 6'3" with decent mentals and good determination. So that destroyer role we just had to talk about, I think, is not bad. He's also dual-footed. Now, you might be thinking, Damien, though, you have a scout report on him. Yes, I do. And I didn't, but I was like, I want to know what he would want to be. Because he rejected my trial, which a lot of the clubs do in the USA, a couple of them that actually let you get him on trial. Because I put in a contract offer, and then his agents come back in and said, well, I want to reopen talks, he's provided me with a scout report to my scouting team of him. So if I go into overview and I go in a scout report, That was done on the 4th or the 6th, where this generates. And I'm like, right, that is awesome. So maybe what we're going to do is just go to every uninterested player, just to test this, go for a contract when they're interested, walk away and get the agent to come back to us and go, okay, that's the contract we want. And that's going to provide us with a scout report. Because he's a National League player with potential, League One potential. He did want me to improve my youth facility, my training facilities if we signed him. I said nope, and there we are. So now I'm going to go through my list of players that I have down here that rejected me for trials. There we go, stuff like down here. We had a few trials down here and stuff, and see what we can do. Because I tell you what, if that's a way to get scouting done without having the money go through the club, we're pretty happy about that. Welcome back, YouTube. We have got the season officially, has clicked over and we've been put in the second division. We haven't had any friendlies of yet. PSG and Monaco have both rejected me, stating that they don't see a point in playing a team of our stature, which is annoying because we would love the money to come in. But because the league table is ticked over, we get to see where our season preview is. And 300-1 to win the league, and pretty much odds-on favourites to get relegated, which makes sense. Reims, Lorient, and AC all getting relegated. They think that's our best team there, which probably makes enough sense for now. We obviously need to make some signings. We've only made the one signing, which you've already seen. And, it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll be all right. Apparently, our keeper's our best player. And he's wanted. Yeah, we ain't selling. And hopefully, we can find a way to stay up. Welcome back, YouTube. We are heavily in depth in a scouting sesh. I have somehow wound it up in the under-23s of Senegal, and they have got regens out of this world. I've come across a team you must check out in your save. They're called AS Academy Generation Foot. And my word, the players here are cheap, and they are good. I'm going to start with Dosu. We need a right winger. If I've put in a trial bid because I can't scout him, but if he could come on in on a trial, that'd be great. If not, 24k to 250k, we'll work something out, mate. You're 16 with those physicals, with decently well-rounded technicals and mentals. We want you. Okay, he's one. The other one, Chika Kiete. Now, he's not that good because the reason why I've rounded up in Senegal, I'm going to show you the guy why I've rounded up in Senegal. He's well-rounded. And very well-rounded and very good. Finishing, first touch, headering and technique, world-class already. Beautiful. Determination, better. Aggression, I don't mind that. He's also got very good natural fitness and balance, which is not bad for a young kid. The only thing I'll say about him is that he does lack in technicals and mentals in certain areas, yes. And he does lack the speed to really impact the game. But at 16 years of age, if I was to pick him up, oh boy, would I love to get him in. Because he'll be playing off the bench for me. And yeah, he would be very, very good. Now, we're going to check out the rest of him here live. Kamara's okay. Kieta's that guy there. We need to offer him a trial. I don't know if I did that. Offer trial. Yep. Just 4 weeks. Let me have a look. Kieta. And then Dieng is a centre-back at 5'10" that's not particularly good. The main reason that we ended up here, and we're going to end back up at that club, is I put a bid in for this guy here. This guy came up in my scouting report, don't know how, Lebassi Ngom, who's got 3 under-20 caps at Senegal. I then clicked on Senegal and was like, okay. I clicked on their team, they had a couple of regens. I went to the under-23s, and yeah. By the way, I'm trying to sign this guy to play up front because I have the crazy idea of playing Barker as a Segundo Volante on support. He's got 10... I didn't realise how around it is. He's got 9 tackling, 10 passing. His lowest technical's 8 and his lowest mental's 8. If that does not scream box to box, that's Segundo Volante where you can go up and down and do it all, nothing does. So there's a world where I think Yanis Barker moves into the midfield. I think that's something that we need to do. But yeah, if you go to Senegal, right, we go back one. Senegal, national team, under-23s, it's just a bunch of regens bar 2 players. If I find anyone else or any of those guys want to join, I'll be back, YouTube. Just do it on your save. Lower level, USA under-23s, they're all free agents because they're all on amateur contracts till they turn 18, and even at 18, you can get them on an amateur contract to come across like I did. We have the glitch where you can offer them a deal, then walk away, and then the agent gives you a scout report for free. And now I've got some lads that are this good that we're having a look at. Here we go. Welcome back, YouTube. We've been scouting and we've been going through free agency because we don't have enough money to really do anything. And we haven't made a signing of yet, but we've got a lot of hands and a lot of fingers in a lot of little, parts of the world and trying to sign whoever we can. First being 200K for TV rights next year. That's massive for a club like us. So there you go. Secondly, recruitment meeting, couldn't find me a centre-back of choice. I do have a bid for a centre-back that we're going to go through. Now, the Senegalese under-23 lads, all of them rejected me. I did not realise, but if you go to the rules, you have to be more than 16 years of age to play. Because a couple of them were 16 when we went for them, they weren't happy. And then on top of that as well, there wasn't one of them turned 17 but still is on a non-contract at the club. They don't want to move until they're 18. So we're in the shortlist. Hopefully in a few years' time, we might be able to sign a few of the ones that we showed you. Terms of the team, we're in a bit of a weird situation. We've got some people that you may know or have heard of here at the football club, and we're going to run through them for you. So, in order, Isian Sacco. People will know who he is. If you've done a French save, you know who he is. If you've played FIFA, this is the sort of guy that used to pack all the time back in the day. Strasbourg, from VAFC to Strasbourg, played at OJ Nice. He played in and around League One, and if you played FIFA career mode, used to grow into a player back in the day, and also used to be quite a decent player back in the earlier FMs that I played, FM 12 upwards. He's worth going for. In terms of his career in this save, OJ Nice went to the National League the year that we nearly got promoted in Season 1, and he got relegated and scored 5 goals. And then in the division below, he didn't exactly, set it alight, but he did score 15 and 30. Just on paper, is someone that is very well-rounded, is a natural winger on attack, and we need one. He can cross the ball, he's decently physical and decently well-rounded. That, like the signing of Ramil last year, someone that just of that level a little bit better than he is, someone we might be able to get a good year out of, and I've put a bid in. As soon as I have, Power FC and Dunkery in the 2 divisions below, Power FC, one of the teams that got relegated, have gone for him, and you might see Power FC's name come up a little bit. Next is Collie. Now, Collie is a pressing forward that we have not had here. I prefer playing this 4-3 with a pressing forward. We've been using Barker as an advanced forward because it suits him, but I definitely think a pressing forward is needed this year. He's not one of the positions that we need, but he's someone that came out in my scouting report on a free that we've gone for. He's a bit of a different sort of striker. He is, as a pressing forward, an out-and-out pressing forward. Finishing first touch, can do it. Technically, can do it, but technically, is a little bit outside the ballpark of not being great. But what he does do at 23 years of age is he comes with the abundance of speed with some decent natural fitness and good determination. And when you're a pressing forward that's very well-rounded mentally, you've got decent work rate, but you've got pace to burn, you're good. And in the match engine, the amount of balls that come in over the top or in behind that we look to break lines with, this guy might be able to give us an extra dimension where we can really get him in behind. Some games he'll start, and some games we'll see how he goes, and some games off the bench think he's really good. He wants to come in as a squad player. I would probably start him from minute 1. Because at 23, if he comes in and plays at this highest level that he's ever been at, he is a Lyon prospect he never played, went to Goal FC in the division below us, played well with match rating, but not great. I just think he's the sort of guy that if you can just tell him to do a role, press and press only, then sit on the last man, let our Segundo Volante's ball-winning midfielders win the ball, he's someone that maybe can get in behind and be on the end of a few more extra chances, where in games last year we would lack in the division below because our front three was not quick enough, not dynamic enough. He provides that, so we've got him in. Next one that we're going for as well is Imovo, and he's not in the list anymore. So the next one that we put a bid in for is Stephen Imovo. I think we showed you him in the episode. After going through and scouting and looking at everything else, the fact he's a Cameroonian international, the fact he's 6'1", and the fact that he's physically so good, I just think he's just worth bringing in, because of the worst case scenario, same with Collie, if we got relegated, the board left us, still kept us in the job, which could be a possibility. If we go down through the playoffs, they're still going to keep us in the job, they say. He's someone that, if as long as we didn't sell him next year, he's someone that, man, he would carve it up in the division below and send us back up straight away. So, and that's not a bad spot to be in. And then, yeah, on top of that as well, we do have a bid in for this guy. He's an Englishman. I have no scout report. I just went for him because a lot of clubs went for him. He's the sort of guy that I'm going for just in case we don't get one of the front three lads. Same way that we've got a few people here on loan as well, here. Mainly Musa. Musa's someone that maybe we should go for from minute one. It's a good National League with good League 2 potential. In saying that, though, they reckon that he's got decent ability, which, makes sense. He's got good penalty taking. He's someone that, if we don't sign Collie, we're going to sign the Gambian lad. He's covering from Sevilla, is Musa, as well. And let me know, would you go for him or would you go for Collie? We might even compare the pair, because I haven't done that yet. Collie's just so much quicker, better going forward, better technically, when Moose is a bit better in the air. I think Moose is very similar to what we've had over many a year. Yes, he's probably a bit better than what Barker is and a bit better than what Diarra would be, but Collie's giving me that extra dimension, so that's why we've gone for him first, and then if he ends up somewhere else, he ends up somewhere else. We're the only club to bid for him. PFC have gone in there. If you look at Melwovo, we've had a bid in for him for ages now. PFC have come into, and they're a more reputable football club than us. Yes, they got relegated, but they're a more reputable football club. They are, I believe, predicted to go straight back up nearly. They're not, actually. Where are they? There you go. They're predicted to come ninth. Maybe that's why they're going for people. There you go. And while we're here, we'll have a look at him. Okay, not bad. But yeah, so that leaves us in that position. Lastly, though, we have gone for a centre-back. My scouts don't rate him. He wants to come in as a squad player. And you might be thinking, Damien, you got no knowledge on him. I don't, but there's a reason why I've gone for him. If we have a look at him with Karamoko, who's our best centre-back, that is the scout report over the top of him. And Karamoko is considered our best centre-back, someone who's a good National League player, and some of the fans love, and I'm definitely going to give a go to because he's averaged a 7 in the last 2 years. Have a look how much John Nikato beats him. Defending, much better. Physically, much better. Speed, much better. Even going forward, better. Same in the air and same mentally. And the reason the same in the air and same mentally, John, if we go to his profile, 6'5", 17 strength, fitness, jumping reach, balance. I'm big on physicals in the lower levels, and I'm big on physicals when you're not the best team in the world. This guy is the sort of guy you sign, you let him sit there, do nothing, sweep up, head balls away, tackle people, crunch people with his height and his physicality, and then when he win a corner, stick him on the front stick and aim for his head. I like him. The game thinks he's only a squad player and he wants to be a fringe player. Mate, I think this guy who's been capped at under 23 level for Congo, DR Congo, I think he's worth it. Now, we haven't made a signing yet. We will be back with the signings themselves. Fingers crossed they come soon, because I've been scouting now for 3.5 hours on stream. Links down below. And if you like this explanation of this video and signings that we're thinking of now that we're professional, let me know if you want me to do future, season previews and thoughts videos like this. Just let me know in the comment section down below and give it a like, of course, while you're there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know the general stuff. Our first signing YouTube of note, it's the centre-back. It's John Nkato. We've actually spent money. 21k of our 350k in the budget has come out. Boom. Accepted. Let's have a look what he looks like. Fingers crossed. I don't even care if the game tells me he's 2.5 star. He's better than my current centre-back that I have on paper. Sometimes star ratings lie. So, I'm playing him. No matter what, he's playing. They reckon he's 2.5 star. Okay, whatever. I don't think he is. 2.5 star. There we are. Dreads big matches, leading national play at level 2, fairly inconsistent. So, without the scouting report, was a bit of a punt. Mate, compare him with Karamoko, and who's the better footballer? It's the one in green. And they reckon Karamoko's fantastic. Telling you straight away, this guy is playing. Because I think he's really good. I think he's great. But there you go. So maybe not the best signing, and obviously this is what makes this lower level stuff hard, is without having, and I've got no scouting knowledge because I have no scouting range because I've got no money and we still can only scout inside my league in France. And it even asked me to scout people in the division below me that you want to pay the money to scout, because without that, though, I think he's still great. That's the wrong guy, Damien. Where are you? This guy here. Perfect, mate. I think he's still great. He is 22, and they reckon he could be a 4-star defender. I think he will be, and I think very quickly the game will realise that he's better than 2.5 star. He's the sort of guy that I think comes in. The fact that he's been in poor form, I think is the reason he's 2.5 star as well. I think if he comes in, we keep clean sheets, and he plays well, gets a couple of goals from corners, I think straight away we'll go to 3-star and beyond. So, this average rating takes precedence sometimes. We do have a scout report there, but we'll go through it. I'm going to click once more because if we've signed him, there might be some signings coming in as the game saves here, YouTube. So we might stay live here for a second just to see if we get anyone else or we lose one or two to Power FC. Pre-season already beginning and I haven't really made too many signings, which shows how much scouting we've done. Big shout out to everybody in the Twitch chat that has stayed here for the 3 hours and 40 minutes of scouting. We've also played the Conference League final for my Brighton beta save to end that save. We've played that on the same night as this big scout. So that will already be on YouTube by the time this episode comes out. If you haven't watched that or that save, it's on the channel. Click Dame_23 underneath this video and go through that. That's had a lot of support, that series. So if you're watching from that series, thank you. Here we go. That's a thing. Shane apparently that he should be doing more protect. Doesn't bother me. By the way, we've upgraded our scouting, our staff. We've got an actual assistant that's probably going to be my assistant for most part of the save. The head of youth we changed last year. Goalkeeping coach we got in last year. Actually got a fitness coach that has fitness as his key stat. And a coach that's got a Continental Pro license. And another coach that is not got his Continental Pro license, but is very well-rounded. So we've actually got a good amount of staff in. Trial coming to an end. He's turned professional. Nice. I think he could be decent, but I don't think so. All right, YouTube. We're going to give it another 30 seconds. And if we see someone sign, great. You watch what happens. We'll press end of recording and someone will be signed. 100%. We'll give it this sim. And if no one signs, then we're going to be back. Here we go. Brand new day. We're going to sign anybody? Inbox of 2. Scouting finishing on you. Give it a one more click. 8 a.m. Give it till midday. If it doesn't happen early, then it's not going to happen. They're all thinking long and hard if they want to go to Power FC or me. Choose me. I'm in the top. I'm in the better division. I'm going to go down to National free. No one's going to see you. Well, there you go. I missed out on the midfielder. Stephen Mwovo decided to go to Power FC. Well, that didn't work out, so we got no midfielder there. So Steve goes out. I will say that that's okay because it allows me to do the Barker conversion where we're playing him as Segundo Volante because I think he's well-rounded. That hurts. We may as well continue on because we might see another one of them going to Power FC because it tells me if one's going, the other one's going to go and we're not going to get Sacco. There you go. We lost both of them. We lost both of them. Ouch. That's what makes these lower levels hard. We lost both of them. See what we can do. Maybe we get Musa in as a winger on attack. Can't really cross though. We'll be back, YouTube. We now still need a winger and a pressing forward of sorts or a midfielder, which, to be fair, I would prefer to actually get an out-and-out proper midfielder in as well. Welcome back, YouTube. We've at least signed one of the three. El Hadji Colli has come in as a squad player to play up front. I'm going to welcome him in, the Olympic Lyon loanee, prospect, sorry. The former prospect there. You know, the fact that he's got 5-star potential shows that I think he's really good. We got the winger in. Wow. So we've actually got the other winger in. Has decided to come in on a winger on attack. So there we go. We've got a winger in as well. The 20-year-old from England is obviously non-foreign, which is okay. We'll double check that before we do anything. Surely should be. Surely we can register people in. Maximum of 1 or non-2 foreign European spots. So we're going to welcome him in as well. All right, let's have a look. Squad register him in. Yep, confirm that. That's fine. And the ringer's in. And I wasn't expecting to actually get him because all the English clubs in the championship and that all lined up for him. The thing is that he's young enough that we can develop him. Man, he came in really good. He came in really good. How quick are you? Quick enough. For me, he's definitely a winger on attack. I know that they're saying inverted winger, and I understand why, because he's very good at coming in. He's got a reasonable left foot. That's probably why he's better as a winger, on an inverted winger. I think he's got good winger and attack with 15 composure. I think this is definitely someone we're going to put some time into. Get him as quick as possible. With that potential, I think he's fairly decent at what he can do. Suspect injuries. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But there we go. Okay. So there we go. We signed 2 signings. There we go. And Colley's the other one. So squad register him in. There's my 2 maximum, but there we are. Okay, so there we go, YouTube. Not the players that we expected, but Colley's one can play as a pressing forward. And a name I cannot pronounce, which is not always hard. Rosian Mavruven. Rosian Matruven. Yeah, that's a great name to say. Where are you from? You got another nationality? Just straight up English. Answers on a, good old Work the Space. I've been watching so much Work the Space on Lojo because the new game's out. Answers on a postcard and the great words of Work the Space. If you haven't checked out Work the Space, just put him in YouTube. They're much better than what I do. But yeah, Rosian Madahurin. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. But there we go. There's your signings. All right. Look, we signed a centre-back. We signed a winger. We signed a striker. There is definitely a world we can sign a better defensive midfielder, but Barker is being trained to play this role, and if it came to the start of the season and he had to play there, I think he is someone that could do a job. The bench is as follows, which is as well, not too bad. There is definitely a world we just get Didri to play at 18 and just develop him. I think that's not a bad little team. Honestly, don't think that's a bad little team, that. Yeah, we probably should look to sign maybe another striker for the bench, maybe? Don't know. We got 2 wingers either side. Well, Castro and Haddad play the same side, but they can both play there. Yeah, we got 2 wingers either side. Haddad can do that. I think the squad's not bad. What we're going to do, YouTube, is actually end this episode here. We've made a signing up front, signing out on the right-hand side, a defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder signing, and a centre-back signing, which I know the game does not like, but I actually think is really good. Let me know where you would sign another player. Would you go out for maybe a big-name striker, a bigger-name striker, and use Colley as a bench striker with the pace? Or would you give Colley the go and just say, mate, when my really good assistant coach thinks you got leading potential, maybe we'll work on something with you? Or would you go out there and say, you know what, Barker, as much as he's well-rounded, maybe train him so he can be the backup striker on the bench and the backup Segundo Volante, which, to be fair, I think makes a lot of sense to sign a midfielder because it allows him to fill out a few roles on the bench. Same way when we re-signed Godini, he can fill in centre-back, centre defensive mid and centre attacking mid to keep our finances on the low side, which we've got 6K, which we can still spend. Till next time, YouTube. We'll see what the season preview does for us. Still puts us bottom. I reckon we're going to line up Diarra and Barker still. So, not much change. They've put him in there, and they've actually put the centre-back in there. So, there you go. Yeah, until next time, give it a like, subscribe. Different sort of episode. We will be back next episode with the opening day of the season against a side in Dijon, who are formerly of the French First Division. And with that, we'll come back with any signings that we may have had as well. Till next time, thank you and goodbye.